Hello and welcome to Nature Affinity. My name is Seth, and on this channel we help others to align with the affinity of nature. In this video, I'm going to share with you 4 ways to stop reacting. Now, in my experience, every time that I've reacted to a situation, I only made it worse. That situation may already be stressful in some way, shape, or form, and then when you react to it, like, if you have a problem, don't react to it and make another problem in yourself. Now, the first thing to consider when it comes to not reacting is that we tend to have a habit of passing snap judgments on others that we know nothing about. If they do something that triggers us in some way, shape, or form, we need to practice the art of compassion for others. Because we're seeing basically a sentence in a paragraph on a single page of that person's book of life, in their own unique experience. You really know nothing about them. So we must practice compassion and empathy to avoid reacting to a situation. And really look at that situation from a wider perspective. Really look at the situation from a wider perspective and understand that it's a reflection. It's all a reflection of your own internal condition, the types of things that are coming towards you. It's not necessarily anything about that person even. It's just what's lined up between. It's like you're a masterful creator. That person is a masterful creator. You guys have come together, as it were, to show each other something in this experience that we call life. The second way to stop reacting is to stop identifying with the feelings that you might feel based on a certain thing happening. Like, a guy might cut you off in traffic and you might get pissed off and you're like, oh man, I'm angry at that guy. He risked my life or risked his own life or did something strange, you know. But when you say I'm angry, you're identifying with that emotion. And therefore, when you say I am, whatever you say after that, you become, or you are. So, if a guy cuts me off in traffic, and it causes me to feel a moment of anger, I don't align with that. I don't say I am angry. I say I am feeling the feeling of anger passing through. This too shall pass. Because that emotion, that feeling that you're feeling is energy in motion. And when you really feel into it and identify with it, you're holding on to it. You're not allowing the emotion to flow. You're not allowing the energy to flow. You're holding it, like you're damming up the energy flow. So you have to really allow that process. I recognize that you're feeling that anger and say, this too shall pass, and allow it to flow. The third way to stop reacting is to become very meditative in your everyday life. Now, what I mean by this more specifically is embrace the stillness Allow yourself to be still and give yourself that permission. A meditation practice on a daily basis will make this much easier. But sometimes things come up, like when you're at work, when you're driving, even when, your best friend from years ago shows up at your house unexpectedly. They might still be holding on to some version of you that doesn't even exist anymore. It happens. It's happened in my journey. It happens to everybody. People show up and they expect you to be a certain way, and then you're not that way anymore. And that's a beautiful thing. But to be meditative in your everyday experience, it requires you to be fluid. Don't be so rigid about everything. Be fluid like water. Be fluid like water. Nature inspires us to be fluid and to allow things to flow. The very process of everything in nature is meditative by design. There is stillness in nature. There is motion, but there is also a time for stillness. When you can cultivate that space for stillness in your own experience, you can really stop reacting. You can really get to that point where you feel a certain way about something, and then before you react, you have that moment of stillness. And you say, okay, this feeling is flowing, I'm allowing it to flow. And you transmute the energy in that moment because you become non-reactionary to it. You're having a response to it. You're not reacting anymore. There's a very important distinction. The fourth way to really stop reacting in your life to external stimuli is to ask yourself this question. In that moment of stillness, ask yourself, in a week, a month, a year from now, is this really going to be relevant? Does this really matter right now? What I'm feeling this about? Am I getting triggered about something that actually is going to make a difference in my life 5 years from now, a year from now, even a week from now? Is it really going to make a difference? Is it really worth getting wound up about something that your reaction to it is actually going to make it 100 times worse than what it is? So ask yourself that question. Is this going to affect my life in some kind of way a week, a month, a year from now? Is it worth reacting to it? And you'll find the answer is no. It's not. You allow that place of stillness. Inspired by nature. There's a time for motion, the motion of the waves, and there's a time for stillness, the stillness of the trees. We're out here, we're chilling in nature. It's another beautiful day in paradise. If you found value in this video, share it with someone else who may also find value. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. And enjoy another beautiful day in paradise. I'm out here chilling with the birds, singing the songs of freedom in the forest. Peace.